Hey everyone, this is Miss Coleman, third, fourth, and fifth grade counselor at Wolf Meadow. I wanted to come to you real quick as we begin to discuss and celebrate Social Media Week. I wanted to discuss the more serious side of social media and the effects it could have on students of all ages, particularly our adolescents and preteens. Some of the negative impacts overuse of social media can have is depression, anxiety, cyberbullying, sleep deprivation, low self esteem, social isolation, decreased activity, internet addiction, believe it or not, poor concentration, and even a rise in the willingness to self harm. In talking about all of those generally and specifically, we want to be mindful when we allow our students at school and at home to use social media and to participate in interacting with others on social media. It is very easy to be led down a path in social media of being on a safe site and then suddenly you're no longer on a safe site, or you are interacting with people you know and then someone comes into the conversation you may not be aware of. There are predators to be mindful of, as was discussed in a previous video shared this week. However, we want to stay safe in the use of social media, and we want to be mindful that these negative impacts can affect our students. Cyberbullying is very popular. It happens not just on social media, it also happens through cell phone, through text, through email, and video games. So be mindful of that as well when you're allowing your students and your children to interact socially. In this new normal, since we are using our devices more often than we have before. When it comes to some of these negative impacts, be mindful of the signs that you may see that signify something is wrong, such as a change in mood, even a change in appetite, a change in desires to do things that students once enjoyed. Those are some of the top signs that something is going on with your student that may or may not be cause for concern. And we want to make sure that you are vigilant, that we are vigilant of when they're using and how they're using social media so that they can use it safely. Of course, if you feel that your student or your child is in danger when it comes to social media use, please feel free to contact the proper authorities. For school, it may be the counselor or the social worker or even an SRO. At home, it could be all of those to gain assistance and support. It could be your local police department as well. We also want to stress the fact that anything that is done on social media is on there permanently. It does not go away. And I think that is something that students sometimes forget. We can get caught up in using our devices and interacting with people we think we know and can trust. And we may or say or post something that is not appropriate. And once we've done that and it's out there in cyberspace, it is there forever. So please have that conversation with your students, if you haven't already, about how the effects of social media can impact a student's life permanently, particularly if they post something that is detrimental to them. Lastly, we want to discuss how you can kind of put some barriers and boundaries in place to minimize these effects. You can use parent controls to help students not get on or access sites that they shouldn't be using. Most social media sites are for certain ages, and that age is typically 12 or 13 years old. So if your student is interacting in those websites and they are much younger than that, be mindful of that as well. Also, participate and have discussion with your child about these effects. We don't want anything to happen to our students while they're in our buildings or at home. We care about them and we care about their social and emotional well being. And for that reason, we want to make sure that you're safe, especially now with the use of social media, and make sure you're steering clear of all those negative effects.